Hi and welcome to Lecture 5B. We're going to be looking at an exemplar. This is just an exemplar because as far as I know, this 12-mark question hasn't really been asked. So we're looking at outlining and evaluating research into workplace stress and illness. Now, for previous lectures, as you will see, so 5A and 5A, you'll basically see that I've just used two key researchers, which was Marmer, Tatel, and Johansson. So what I do, again, they always give you some space to do a plan. Even at this age of mine, I would never, ever do a complete essay without actually doing a plan. Okay, so all this plan I've done is straight from my head. I don't look at any book or any textbook or any notes or anything. It's best to start practicing, remembering research because you need to know them. Okay, so there's only two that you need to remember for this section. Right, so um, we start off with defining what we mean by workplace stress by giving examples and why psychologists want to study it, obviously because of people's health. So that's a very brief intro to what it is. I've also given examples of what workplace stresses you can have. For example, tight deadlines and internet keeps going down. That is a big issue with some workplaces. Okay, and I went straight into the Marmot study. So I've done my whole aims, procedures, findings, and conclusions. Okay, so all this will be my AO1 stuff. So let's highlight that as my AO1. Okay, said exactly what they done, and also very important, you have to put at the end what it now suggests. Okay, so it now suggests that work control and being flexible. That should be flexible. Sorry. Oh no, no. Work and flexibility is it is an important factor in ensuring people do not have heart problems and take time off work. Okay, so always put what it suggests after every single research. Okay, and then I started talking about, even though the particular study didn't find a link between workload and illness, there are other studies, and this brings in my second key study, which is Johansson, looking at sawyers and the maintenance workers in a sawmill. So again, all of this here would be my AO1. Okay, and then again, I linked it to why having too much stress hormones in the system can affect the function of the white blood cells, making us more susceptible to illness. Then I started off with my AO2. So I used the population validity one in terms of civil servants, and it was done in London. I didn't just say, therefore, it lacks population validity. I elaborated what I want to say. I compared it to, for example, truck drivers and stay-at-home mothers, because all of those really are work as well. And I basically said that having low control may be an issue for the civil servants, but it may not be an issue for various other professions. Yeah, so I've made sure that I've highlighted what areas that they've missed out on as well. And then I looked at London. So London is a very westernized society, and I've compared those to non-westernized society, where, for example, even having a job is happy, if they're happy enough, then as it is, regardless of how much control workload that they have. You know, some economic situations there are no jobs available, so that could be enough to set them off in terms of stress and illness. So I've basically done that. So all of that would be my an AO2 point here. So I do that as blue. And I've done, obviously, I like to have a habit on my 12-mark essays to have two good elaborated strengths and weaknesses. So here's my strength is, and I talked about Johansson's study using a naturalistic setting. I explained that it wasn't an artificial environment, that demand characteristics were not there simply because they didn't know really, no one was really watching them, so everything was naturally occurring. If it was a laboratory experiment, the workers may have displayed demand characteristics, i.e., if you know somebody's watching you, you're going to change your behavior, obviously, but there was none of that. So I put, therefore, it can be said that this research is high in ecological validity. Some people are going to be so tempted to just say this research was a natural setting, therefore it was high in ecological validity, which will not get you the marks that you need to get an A for psychology. Okay, so that is our AO2 points there. And then obviously we've done a nice conclusion. Again, I'm showing you all sorts of examples of conclusions that you can have. Again, I'm keeping with the theme of how if we do find out more information about this particular area, we can potentially save lives all around the world, basically. So I put, for example, they could start looking at more of a bigger cross-cultural study, looking at westernized countries and non-westernized countries, and use measurement scales that will be applicable for both of them. Yeah, so that's a very, very smart thing you can do with your conclusion without feeling that you're regurgitating everything that you said previously. Okay, so any questions or any issues, please do leave a comment, and I'll see you in the next lecture.